Welcome to this week on Let's Fix Her Up. I am your host, Mike Jamison, and hey, it's really good to be back. I'm here. If I pulled this in, if I had any strength in my arm, I'd pull this in, but I can't. Ronnie's over there right now. We're here at Gladieux Do It Best, kind of our home away from home. You know, if you want to come over here on a Sunday afternoon, and Ronnie's being just terrible today. I've actually, you guys, I've been off for a couple of months here. This is our first show. It's 2018, 24th year of Let's Fix Her Up. 24 years. Got all the guys over here working, and the girls, and everybody. And actually, back in November, had a little mishap. I always said, if I had to die, oh, I get it. He was going to cut my head off with this thing. If I ever had to die, I wanted to either die on a basketball court or I wanted to die in Vegas, but that's another story. I didn't want to fall off a roof or anything like that. Well, I was playing basketball, and my heart did a little tickle thingy here. And make a long story short, I got to go over to the other side for 6.5 minutes, and thank the great people over at Cardinal Stritch for having the right defibrillator unit, and brought me back. I've got a big old defibrillator in my chest now. That's why I haven't been around. And feeling great. They got my sugar together. Everything's super duper. And I can't say thank you enough to all the great people who, you know, came up and said hi and said a lot of nice stuff on Facebook. Thank you very much. So we're back to getting things done now. And everybody that knows me or listens to the radio, they all know I've talked about it all the time, and they're all like, oh my God, they're just being terrible. If I had another camera right now, they're just, you can see exactly what they're doing. But that's the cool thing about local, you know, you come into the hardware store, the Gladieux hardware store, that's what we're going to call it now. It's just a fun bunch of people, and they can fix anything they want. Now they're going to do something. Oh no, look at them. See what I got to go through. Because I died, you know, and everything. But we do have a lot of good stuff coming up this year. Now that I'm feeling better, I can finally get some of these projects done. And Gladieux is going to be helping us out with some of the projects. We're also going to be with Marty Bihn, and we'll actually have a segment. We actually have segments on the show this week. And Marty Bihn with Hallmark Mortgage is going to be talking about some FHA loans that are coming through for people that want to refinance their house to get some projects done, and you know, maybe get you into a position where you don't get into an over-under problem with your house. And it's some great information. We'll be talking about that. And we're going to talk snowblowers here over at Gladieux Do It Best. And Ronnie's going to talk a little bit about how to get everything planned out for your projects that are going to be coming up. So you make sure you have all of the stuff you need to make sure you can build whatever it is you need to build. And before we go any further, our buddy, if you've been watching this show, we've been on every station other than, I don't think we've been on Showtime. That's about the only one we haven't been on. But Jeff Marin, who is Bear, who has worked here at Gladieux, he's been part of our Toledo Sports Network. He's been part of all of the shows that we've done. And one of my dearest friends on this earth had some open heart surgery, had some complications, and is right now up at the University of Michigan Hospital up in Ann Arbor, and we're working to get him back to good old Jeff again so we can have him on the show and everything. We've got a fundraiser for him this Saturday. It'll be January 27th from 4 to 8 p.m. It's going to be over at Bayside Boardwalk at the banquet hall over there. Tickets are $15 each, and $10 for children under 10. Or under 12, I'm sorry. We're going to have a taco bar, pop, and they'll have adult beverages, beer, and there's going to be a lot of good stuff. I'm going to be DJing there, so there'll be some good dance music. Ron Gladieux is going to be singing karaoke for the event, and he's promised us some great Frank Sinatra songs. And there'll be 50-50 raffles, and there'll also be 50-50 raffles to make sure Ronnie doesn't sing at this event. So you want to make sure, and we only got a week kind of to put this together, but if you're on our Facebook, go to my Facebook, Mike Jamison Facebook. We've got all the information on there. It's a fundraiser. Jeff's been in the hospital since before Thanksgiving, and he's going through a lot of tough stuff right now, so we want to help him out with that. But we're about ready to get on with the show. These guys they're all bummed out because Ronnie has to pay overtime for the guys that are standing here right now because I'm doing this late in the day for them. And the guys are loving it. They're making like $50, $100 an hour right now, and Ronnie's just looking at me like, 50? It's 50? 150. It's 150. But a lot of fun in here. You just come in here and sit and shoot the poop with these guys because they really know what they're talking about. And Navarre Avenue at its best. We'll be back right after a couple of messages and get this show started.
Struggling with the big box stores? Choose Gladieux.
Gladieux Home Center. A hardware store, yet so much more. Your home improvement answer store. A place to design your interior space. A professional and friendly smiling face. Everything you need for your home. And Gladieux is locally owned. You'll be glad to know Gladieux Home Center.
Tires play an important role in your vehicle's handling, comfort, and fuel efficiency. So when it comes to maintaining them, you need a name you can trust. At Dan Ars Automotive, our expert staff will help you find the perfect tires to keep your vehicle at peak performance. We have a huge selection of top brand tires for you to choose from. Having issues with your tires? We'll diagnose the problem and get you back on the road. Visit Dan Ars Automotive today for tires from a name you can trust.
From the kitchens of Italy to you, Arturo's Pizza Kitchen is the home of authentic Italian food. As one of the oldest independently owned pizzerias in Toledo, Arturo's Pizza Kitchen has been serving since 1988. With pizza, salads, award-winning subs, chicken chunks and wings, mom's own lasagna recipe, and our famous cheese sticks, we have it all. Never frozen, always homemade. Arturo's Pizza Kitchen. Hungry? Call Arturo's, 419-698-1641. Well, folks, we're here with Marty Bihn from Hallmark Mortgage, and our shows that we're going to have here on Let's Fix Her Up now, and we're going to be looking at getting projects done and doing this, but to get a project done, you have to be able to have the financing, and you have to be able to have all the things done beforehand before you ever get there, and Marty is absolutely the king when it comes to those kind of things. And of course, he does a lot of work with our sports broadcasts and everything too. And Marty, thanks for being with us. And you know, something we didn't even go to that I'm glad we're going to go to now is I'm going to have people email us, because I had a guy email us about a special
203K you asked me about.
Yeah, a 203K, and tell our viewers exactly a little bit what that is.
You know, I find when we talk about mortgages, we make it too complicated because people try and get themselves into the details.
Right.
And realistically, it's no different than me asking you about microphones or cameras or whatever. About 3 minutes into whatever question I ask you, you go to adult peanut voice and it becomes wah, 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 wah. So when it comes to renovation loans, the first most important thing is it's not the value of the project as it sits. So let's say you're buying a home and it's selling for $50,000 and you're going to put $20,000 into it.
Okay. We're
going to supply the appraiser bids and specifications. So it's not going to say remodel kitchen. It's going to say replace kitchen cabinets, replace kitchen. Right? It's going to have specifications that somebody can go out there and say, okay, when all that's done, what is the home worth as completed?
Gotcha.
And if the value of the purchase price plus the repairs equates out to the number or higher, the value, the as completed value is higher than the combined total of the cost, the project will flow along pretty good.
Okay.
In almost all cases, it's got to be licensed contractors who are going to do the work. That, you know, the contractor actually has to have crazy stuff like insurance. You got to pull permits and all, because we want to make sure it's done and done right. So this isn't a mom and pa, do it on the side or whatever else. If you want to do it on your own, you're going to pay for it on your own. But the nice thing is the seller then is out of the project once it closes. So at the closing, that seller would get their $50,000. They're done. They have nothing. The work doesn't have to be done prior to closing that way. So all this stuff is done afterwards. The money's kept in an escrow account. As work is done, the contractor asks for draws. The appraiser, the same appraiser did the original one, goes back out, verifies X or Y amount of work is done, and then checks are cut. When the whole thing's done, it just becomes its own regular mortgage product like any other mortgage product. There's an FHA version called a 203K Streamline. Generally repairs less than $35,000. There's an FHA Full, which can involve structural repairs, and there's not a limit other than the statutory FHA limit in that county. And then there are conventional ones. Fannie Mae has a great product. It's called a home style renovation loan, and its limit is actually 50% of the as completed value.
Right.
So if you buy it for 50 and you're going to put 100 into it, as long as it appraised for 200 when it was done, that would still be okay.
Okay.
So I've seen some major projects done on the home style renovation, and the home style is a lot more flexible with the allowable repairs. People call me, I want to put a pool in. I'm not anti-pool, I have a pool.
You have a pool, yes.
But pools almost never add dollar for dollar the value. It's like finishing a basement. So you better have had some equity in that project or bought it far enough below market to allow for some of those add-ons that don't get you. So it's $30,000 for a pool, but it might only add 5 or 10 to the end value of that home. People say, why? I don't have an answer for that. It just doesn't add. Some things add almost dollar for dollar. A lot of times square footage or renovating bad kitchens or bad bathrooms will put that money back in quickly. So the biggest misunderstanding with renovation loans is that you would want to use it on all kinds of houses. I think too many people watch these
shows.
The show, not yours, but the shows that are not real practical, and they just think every house they go into, they should immediately go throw $40,000 or $50,000 into it. And we were joking before the show about your kitchen.
Yeah.
There's a finite amount that you can put in a kitchen in any home.
In a neighborhood.
In every neighborhood is a different number.
Right.
But you can't put a $100,000 kitchen in a house that's only going to be worth $120,000 when it's done. Mm-hmm. Right? You can't put a $50,000 kitchen in that one.
Is this what got people into a lot of trouble back in 2001, 2005? I know it got me personally into trouble with a house I had in East Toledo, where I was at $75,000 for a house that wasn't nowhere near worth that with things we were trying to do on it.
The true renovation products we're talking about had nothing to do with the meltdown.
Okay.
The reason for that is, remember, we're not still borrowing above the value of the property.
Right. There
were products that went to 125, even 150% of the value of the property. They were on drive-by appraisals, and if you wanted renovation money, they just gave you a check and hoped you got the work done.
Right.
That's all gone, and I don't miss
Thank goodness.
Yeah. The other thing that was happening, in fact, I talked to a borrower, we just did a HARP refinance, which is one of the ones where if you're below water, and it's being phased out, but it's still available. And you know where Linmore is, right there by your old neighborhood, right where you get on the expressway. Well, the out-of-town company that did it, I'm not trying to, but somebody that didn't know any better, ordered an appraisal from an out-of-town appraiser. They did all Rossford comps for a property on Linmore, so they valued it $120,000, $130,000, and it was never ever worth that. I mean, it's a beautiful, huge home in East Toledo. It was never worth that. So a lot of the meltdown problems were related to, I wouldn't even necessarily call it fraud. It was a combination of fraud and incompetence. But these products that we're talking about are based on market appraisals. So the number one headache we run into is people want to put in more than it's going to be worth because it's what they want. Well, I really, really want that appliance
There's more steps, right?
I want this or I want that. And that may seem wonderful when you start, but if you can't get it back out of it, then you end up in a situation where you could, if it was allowable, owe more than it's worth. And that doesn't happen with these products. So it gets nipped before you ever borrow. Right. And that's the, I'll call it the pain of doing them, is you gotta go out and get those bids, and the bids have to have specifics on there. I mean, no one cares whether they're brown cabinets or oak cabinets or maple, but what kind of cabinet or what type of, no one cares what color the granite is, but is it granite, is it quartz, is it formica? And those make small variances in value, but they matter. And in some cases, people just, you can't get that appliance package to make it work. Or you can do a really nice
because
package.
that appliance package isn't going to make that big a difference when it comes to what you're trying to do to make the house more.
Here's a great one. Let's say you have a roof that's 8-10 years old, and it's going to need to be budgeted to be replaced in the next 10 years. Right. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's not leaking today. And you say, well, I want to put one of those really cool new steel roofs on there with the better insulation. The market value of that home is going to go up with that steel roof, but is it going to go up for what that steel roof costs when the current roof
is fine?
No, because that house is going to sell relatively close to market value with a medium-aged, perfectly acceptable roof. Now, if the current roof is ready to leak, it's junk, it needs replaced, the market value of that home is going to come down because every buyer is going to know pretty much immediately they have to fix the roof. And so it's one of those things where the houses that need more tend to fit these products better. Where if it's just cosmetic stuff and it's little ticky-tacky thing, you better have got a heck of a deal on it. Because if you're not getting a good deal on it, it won't value out. The other nice thing is because there are steps to getting it done, the amount of headaches people go through because they're forced to use somebody that's actually, we believe can get the project done, it makes it better because these things don't drag out. They get done quickly, they get done, people want their money and they want to get paid. And you and I joke, if it's you and I doing it,
boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Well, or it might take a while.
Exactly.
Get three extra calls for work this weekend, and all of a sudden the backyard doesn't get done.
Exactly. Oh, how I know. This is our year where we have so many projects that we're going to be doing, and you're working with Hallmark Mortgage, and you're a full-service mortgage company and can help people out. And this is something Marty's going to be helping us throughout the year here. So if you have any questions for him, throw out that cell phone number.
419-461-0667. I have kids now, so I know how to text. And if you need to email, mbihn, BIHN, at 1hallmark.com. Either of them is fine. As you know, I have the phone on all the time.
He does. You can get a hold of this guy very, very quickly here. And through the next few weeks, we'll have a lot of questions. And because I'm going to be going into talking about some windows that we're going to be doing at the house. Fencing has to be done. And this is stuff that maybe I can just, where you'll just say, Mike, no. You don't want to work on your mortgage here. You just leave your mortgage where it's at. Or, Mike, this is what you're going to have to do this. Right. A lot of people, I get a ton of questions for people that do that.
The biggest mistake I find is that people want to use what worked for you or what worked for them, and they want to tell everybody that should work for the next person. And honestly, it's every situation is unique, and it's very difficult to, your prescriptions aren't the same as somebody else's for a relatively similar condition, right? I mean, not everybody's body's the same, not everybody's brain works the same, and certainly not everybody's house is the same. But they want to homogenize those decisions, and that's where I find the mistake. It's okay to ask opinions, but let's get back to the basic part and then figure out from there how to write that right prescription, and that's where people get goofed up.
Now's the time to join the Northwest Ohio piping industry. If you have a high school diploma or GED, are a high school senior currently enrolled in a vocational program, or have a college degree, sign up now for our apprenticeship program. There's never been a better time to start an exciting career as a welder, pipe fitter, plumber, or HVAC service technician and earn upwards of $100,000 a year. The deadline to join the piping industry is almost here. Apply today at pipingindustry.com/TV.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Want to take back control? A Generac home standby generator protects your home against power outages every second of every day, all year long, automatically, whether you're home or away. Control your power, control your life with a Generac home standby generator.
For a free estimate, call Schneider Sons Electric, 419-691-8284.
Well, folks, we're here with Trent Harp here at Gladieux Do It Best, and trying to get a little serious. I mean, when it comes to snow, I mean, we've had a bushel and a half of snow.
Yeah, we have, but we were hoping for 3 bushel the last time, but our weather forecasters kind of strung us out there. But we're ready when it does come.
Well, it's been one of them seasons though where it's kind of spread out a little, and now you've got the month of February coming up, and I know you're loaded. You've got a lot of them sitting in here.
Yes, we do. We're fully stocked. We have sold a lot though. Both of the last few weeks when we've had some snow forecasted, people have been a little preemptive, come in, bought machines. So we are getting low. We do have them, but I wouldn't wait because if we do have a big snow, it's going to be tough to get one.
Now let me ask you this. I've got one of the models, the Briggs & Stratton models that you've got over here, and the model I have is 2 years old, and something that I've noticed here with a lot of the newer, well, with all of them, and it has nothing to do with the blowers themselves. It's the gasoline in them. And explain to people what these folks have to do at the end of a season, something I didn't do, because when I got mine, I never used it for a year.
Well, the best thing to do, a lot of people use stable, things like that, chemical treatments, which is better than nothing. But really the best thing, end of the year, drain your fuel tank, run the equipment till it actually stalls. Then you have no residual fuel anywhere in the system, and it won't gum up over the summer. The problem is it's got ethanol in it,
right,
and that will turn into almost a jelly.
Really?
Yes.
And that's the problem with these things.
Correct.
Because you get this brand new snowblower, folks, and a lot of people. I've had people that have sent me emails and everything where they've said, "Hey, what can you do when it gets to that point?" I mean, when it's there, though, really you got to bring it, and you guys service them.
Correct. Absolutely, we do full service, and the first snow every year, there's always a lineup. There's 20 to 30 machines out here that will not start, and they typically are fuel related. 90% are fuel related issues.
Well, one of the things too, and I've got one of the stepped up models that it's not a two-stage unit. It's a one-stage, but it kind of works like the two-stage unit. With a lot of this ice and the problems we've had, you might want to think about getting yourself into one of the two-stage units.
Right. The two-stage units are great when we get the heavy frozen snow. That's actually got a double lift system that will blow the snow out of the way for you. A lot quicker, a lot more efficient. So you may want to look at a two-stage. It's always nice to not need it and have it versus not having it and needing it, basically, is the way we look at it. And if you've got a larger driveway, you can get done quicker, less time out in the snow, less in the cold. Always a plus.
I got to tell you, now that I've got mine running and everything, I got a good friend of mine got me a set of those Bose headphones, the noise-canceling headphones. I put them under, and you can't hear anything.
Right. Yeah,
I mean, you can't even hear the snowblower. It's so quiet, and just listen to my music, and I get out there and snowblow and everything. But those are with the two-stage units, and this is not very many of the units, and I don't think I've seen anything here. It has the two-cycle oil units anymore.
No, we don't even carry a two-cycle machine anymore, just for the fact that it causes a lot of pain. Like I say, it's a pain in the butt for maintenance. They don't last as long. They're just not efficient. They're smoky. They're stinky.
Sure.
So we've gone to pretty much everything we sell is a four-stroke engine. So straight gas, crankcase oil, just almost like a lawnmower now.
So you want to check on your oils and make sure they're all set too. Even in the mid-season, bring it in, and they can get it all set up for you if you're having any problems with it. I suggest for everybody to get the electric start.
Absolutely.
I absolutely adore my electric start with ours. But we can get out there, and they're just a very clean cut. They get it done, and especially with all of the ice that we've had. And, with me, I never know if I'm sick or I'm not sick, and everybody's been sick, so you let it sit there for a couple of days, and then everything freezes up. So it's right through it, though, and I'm really, really happy with it. And I know that when we're watching this, it's supposed to be 50 degrees this weekend. But then the weekend after that, it's going to get all crazy again.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the man. He's got them all set here, and he can get you set up from the big boys' toys all the way down to a smaller one, or
even a shovel. Not my first choice, but
wow, that's a good heavy-duty shovel.
Absolutely.
Wow. See, they've even got good shovels for you here. You got the people.
Yep, our interior design department, we can do that, absolutely.
Now, we talked a little bit about this. I'm really seriously thinking about dropping no carpeting in my house. I'm seriously thinking of going there. Marty, who did a nice segment for us here, I got to walk through his house, had like 10 different types of floors in his house, just different floor here, there, and everywhere. And it just looked so cool, but no carpet.
Different floors in your house?
Oh, yeah.
See, you like consistency. You like the same flooring throughout the whole each floor.
Well, the way he did it, the house is different. It's different themes for each area of the house, and I'm just very impressed.
Have to see.
It's actually really cool. But
I believe you.
You've got all the flooring here and this new laminate flooring. You've got all of that kind of stuff here too, right?
Absolutely.
Now, can you guys help install this? That's always been the thing. Now, you know me, I'll install anything. It doesn't mean I do it right.
Absolutely. We can guide people through it, or we have installers that can install it for them. Either way.
Fantastic. And I know, as you know, this is that time of the year we're getting into when springtime comes and all the big projects come out. Say you want to start a project. What is the, timing wise? I mean, when you come out here on a Saturday afternoon to talk to you guys, it's kind of tough to get things done that Saturday afternoon, right? Can they still,
You're talking about like if they want to do a floor or something? And the thing is, we don't stock a lot of product anymore because there's so many choices.
Right.
That's the thing today, whether it's doors, whether it's flooring, there's so many choices today, nobody could stock everything. So most of the stuff, those ships pretty quickly.
Yeah, that
so
week.
If you pick out a flooring, usually have it in 2-3 days, so you're on the next weekend.
Right.
So that, that's sort of the way a lot of stuff goes today, because there's so many choices.
Okay, now
you just can't stock everything that's possibly made.
Kitchen's coming up. What is the big thing for 2018 for kitchens?
2018 for kitchens?
Yeah.
A lot of painted stuff, like it has been in the past. A lot of painted kitchens. You don't see a lot of stained stuff. They still obviously make stained stuff.
Right.
But the trend right now is painted. And, a lot of white.
That brushed look paint, rough look paint?
No, there's a lot of white that's still sold. There's also other colors. They do endless colors anymore.
Right.
A lot of gray. The taupes and grays are in. The gray's pretty hot right now.
I'm gonna do the kitchen's gonna get done. That's one of the first projects we're gonna be doing here. But looking to have you guys help us out with a lot of things. Ronnie's we're gonna get knee deep into projects here, and we're gonna teach you how to do a sink. We're gonna teach you how to put a faucet in. We're gonna teach you how to do this. It's gonna be interesting. I'm excited.
Awesome.
And Ronnie, because I feel good now because I died.
I know. I'm just excited. I want to see the two-legged goat.
And you want to see the two-legged goat?
Well, I want to see which two legs he has.
We're Jeff Marin. We're having his big fundraiser this next Saturday, January 27th, from 4 to 10 over at the Bayside Boardwalk. Can we get a two-legged goat in there?
That would be interesting.
I think we get a lot of people for a two-legged goat.
I'll tell you what. There's going to be a lot of great door prizes. I already know they have snowblower. They have some.
You guys got a snowblower in there, right?
Yeah, they got some nice prizes.
We got some golf courses that we're going to have in there for people, and it's to help out a great friend of Let's Fix Her Up and Toledo Sports Network, and just a great friend. And he's worked here for a million years.
Yes, he has. Yeah, we'll miss him.
Yeah,
we just want to get him back, up and moving again.
Causing trouble.
That's the key.
We got to get him causing trouble.
Yeah, come on out. It should be a great event. I know you're going to be there DJing. That might not be the greatest thing, but everything else should be great.
The best freaking DJ in the city, folks. I am the best. You just ask me.
Anything 70s and 80s, he's got it.
Oh, shh. His favorite song is from the Violent Femmes.
No, it's not my favorite song, but it is the song.
See, that's the song you and your wife.
To it.
You and your wife, yes. Yeah. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Well, folks, this malarkey's done for this half hour. Thanks to NBC 24 for making sure we can put this all together for you. And hey, don't forget, ToledoSportsNetwork.com. We've got basketball games all during the week. You can watch them live, and we're following some really good teams this year.
Just like this show, you can flush it or plunge it. Just remember that. Okay.
This will never end. This will never end. First show of the year. We finally got it out of there. We're ready to go. We'll see you next week right here on Let's Fix Her Up.